court appointed. I don't think they can afford those two things at once.
Well, I mean, the only option she has is to be at the Bexar County Jail. Thank you, too. So here's the issue we have, Ms. Perez. You were given deadlines, and you didn't meet those deadlines. That's why Judge Angelini doubled your bond, because you didn't meet the deadlines. You are on bond for driving while intoxicated, third or more. I'm not accept that as true, that it actually happened, because I haven't received any facts of that. But what I do know is that there are conditions of bond, and you need to follow those conditions. And I received, and could I see my documentation, please, counsel?
Yes.
Or,
Our documentation.
yeah, thank you. Now, before Judge Angelini signed that motion, I received documentation that you were not calibrating. And what I did was I gave you 2 days to comply with calibration. And once that was done, I'm sure there was contact made with probation and with pretrial services. And just because you tell pretrial services your car has been totaled, they don't know if that's been totaled. They need documentation for that. So the question is, why did you wait so long? And you're still under oath. Why did you wait so long to provide them documentation when they told you that they needed that documentation April 15th?
I think
She gave her till 16.
her deadline was the 16th.
All right, April 16th.
I kept trying to email them, but I wasn't emailing them probably to the correct address or something, but I started emailing right away as soon as I got the paperwork from Smart Start and that.
Did you pick up the phone and call them and said, I've been
Yes,
trying to
I did.
email you?
I did.
All right, State, what are you requesting?
Judge, I mean,
And she does have medical issues. I don't know if you're aware of her medical issue.
I don't believe I am, Judge, but I think just from our perspective, I think that at the minimum, if the court decides to reinstate her bond, I think she just needs to be strongly admonished that it isn't so much, it sounds like she did tell them she was in a wreck, but like the court said, they don't have confirmation until they do. And I don't find it persuasive that she was trying to email their email. I think she just needs to understand that she needs to communicate with her pretrial officer. And, if she's not able to do that, then obviously her bond could be revoked and she could spend her pretrial period waiting in custody if she's unable to comply with the rules that the court asked and the pretrial asked.
Do you understand that?
Yes. Your Honor.
All right. How did you make it to court today?
My husband.
Did he drive?
Oh, yeah, he was just here in the courtroom.
No. I'm asking her questions.
I'm
Ms. Clark.
sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Did he drive?
Yes.
Does that car have ignition interlock on it?
No.
That car needs ignition interlock on it. Do you understand?
It says, yes, ma'am.
Is it his work vehicle?
Yeah, it's his work vehicle.
Do you have a new car?
No, I don't. At the time, I
Do
don't.
you have a car?
No, I don't.
Can we put her on the PAN device?
Obviously, he's using his work vehicle, which we learned in law school, which is outside the duties of his work, but he's using his work vehicle to transport her. Unless this is on a road, on a route to his job, no.
May I say something that
Yes.
I happen to know? He travels extensively. See, he and I have been in touch with each other.
But he brought her, it doesn't fail the fact that he brought her to court in that vehicle. And he's using it outside his employment duties.
He doesn't really live here much. He's on the road 1 week at a time. He and I coordinated when he could bring her here today because he needs to go back out. He has a company that he runs.
Mhm. But she still has access to the vehicle. Is that vehicle in his name?
It's under his name. Yeah.
Yes. It needs to have
The only thing is she won't be driving it, just him. I just wonder, how do we do this if he's out of town, she's not driving, she's not in the vehicle, who's gonna blow?
No, it's going to be an ignition interlock on that device. And she's also going to be on another device for when she's at home, because I don't know if she's not driving that vehicle or not. It's in his name.
Okay, so he can blow in the vehicle when he's gone on a road trip.
He needs to let them know. I'm sure they'll be able to show that he's not in the county.
They have
But
video on
yes.
those things.
So that vehicle is going to have ignition interlock on it, and you are going to be on a device as well. Do you understand?
You know, I don't think you know this. I'm court appointed. I don't think they can afford those two things at once.
Well, I mean, the only option she has is to be at the Bear County Jail. Because I can't have her having access to a vehicle.
Yeah, she's
And-
never here.
How about we get a vehicle?
Okay, if she buys a vehicle, which she doesn't have, if she buys one, can the court order it to be on her vehicle so that he can go to work and be free?
No, because it's like every vehicle at the home has to have ignition interlock on it. I mean, that's just the way it is. All right. So what the court is going to order is the court is going to reinstate the bond of $10,000. There should be ignition interlock on any vehicle at the home.
I would like to ask the court to reinstate the bond and provide some evidence
Okay.
as to my client's situation.
I will tell you this, there was no miscommunication. I gave her a setting of when to come back and she did not appear twice. So she's going to go into custody. They will, Ms. Ferguson will have a PR bond done for her. Once I review that PR bond.
The second page is her discharge plan. The third page on here, Judge, lists her medical and mental conditions. I just want to point out for the court, just so we have it on the record, medical issues, she has a colonoscopy bag, her psychiatric issues, bipolar, schizophrenia, and PTSD. And after speaking with her yesterday and today, I can assure you that the bipolar part is definitely going through a couple of swings. And the schizophrenia, Judge, she has made some numerous statements to me that would lead me to question whether or not she is mentally competent. So we will proceed with those. We've asked the court in terms of any PR bonds. You wanted to wait for this, didn't you?
Oh, yes, because I don't have anything before me.
Okay.
And what I can tell defense counsel is that as a defense attorney and even as a prosecutor, I would take note of anyone who has any type of mental health issues. And I would always take that in consideration and try to get them help as quickly as possible. However, I cannot have people who are not abiding by the rules of the court. Number one, being reporting to court. Number two, having ignition interlock for a DWI third and all of the things that go along with being charged with the DWI third. So we will come back on what date, Ms. Ferguson? Well, when do you think the PR bond evaluation will be done for her?
No, not for you.
All right. All right. So let's bring this back in 2 to 3 days.
Tomorrow, Judge?
Oh, that's not 3 days. All right. Let's give them a 2-week reset. But if it's ready before then, we'll have her here before then. No,
No bond set at this time.
no, I don't have any information to set bond. All right, Ms. Ferguson.
October 18th.
All right. So we're going to come back on October 18th at 9 a.m. and just check in with Ms. Ferguson in 2 days to see if it's available, because if it's available, we'll put it on the docket immediately.
I'll be here anytime the court needs me to be.
All right, thank you. All right, counsel, can you tell the court how long was she an inpatient?
Approximately a month.
Okay. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor, a couple things. In terms of what, at this time, Judge, my client lives and resides in Kendall County, Texas. We believe that might be the best place to reverse supervision.
Are you employed?
No, I'm not.
How you support yourself?
My husband has some business.
Do you have any children?
None, no,
Any grandchildren?
no.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years in prison, suspended and probated for 3 years, $60 to DPS for testing, 100 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. Ignition interlock for half the term. We've been down this road before. Her husband has a vehicle. He doesn't have a vehicle. It works. It doesn't work. But she is going to have ignition interlock on any vehicles at that home. VIP live. There's to be a MIC evaluation that can be done out of custody. DWI intervention. Intensive outpatient treatment with probation. Sober meetings 1 time per week. There's to be a transfer to Kendall County. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person, And you can either do 10 days in the Bear County Jail, or she will be on GPS for 30 days. And that's full GPS for 30 days. Which would you prefer? Yes. All right. So there's to be full GPS for 30 days in lieu of the 10 days at the Bear County Jail. That will be 30 days from the completion of GPS. All right. Is there anything else that you need?
No.
Probation, is there anything else she needs? All right. And we'll do the TAP evaluation out of custody. All right. Then add field visits, 1 time per month, random. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. So you were driving intoxicated on Christmas. Sometimes when people are having their Christmas dinner, somebody always forgets something, like they forget the eggs to make the stuffing or whatever. That easily could have been a tragedy for some family. You understand? So obviously you can't stop drinking. So there's to be absolutely no driving, of course, while your license is suspended, because it's suspended for 2 years. And you need to make sure that you have that ignition interlock, and that's any vehicle at that home. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else?